What kind of health initiatives would you support to address health-related issues such as diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, obesity? Please be specific. The first answer is Shannon Edwards, and I will repeat the question if you ask.
Hi, my name is Shannon Edwards. First, I'd like to thank the Osage News for having these debates, also the League of Women Voters for moderating, and the Osage Casino. But most importantly, I'd like to thank you, the voters, the constituents, for coming and participating in your government. My answer is the initiatives that I think are important for health are threefold. First, I think that the Osage Clinic needs to improve. That might be through some sort of compacting in the future. I don't believe it's through compacting now, but that would be one of the things that I think is important. Second, I think the health benefit that we have now is important. I think that allows our members to choose what services they need, what health initiatives they need to take. And third, I would encourage our government to develop programs that the people identify as important to them. I know that one of the things that we've heard is, for example, is a dialysis machine on the reservation area would be important to a lot of people, even a mobile dialysis machine. Those are the kinds of things that we need to know about and that I believe we should appropriate money for. Health questionnaires to the people are always a good source of information. Information is gleaned from the health benefit that tells us where people are utilizing those services. Those are the kind of things that the legislature, that the Osage Nation Congress needs to look at when they are appropriating money, and that's the kinds of initiatives that I look for. Thank you.
Amanda Proctor.
Thank you. My name is Amanda Proctor, and I too would like to thank the Osage News for hosting this event and all of you all for being here. And I sincerely appreciate your efforts to listen to the candidates and learn as much as you can about the issues and then the candidates' positions on each one. With respect to this question, I will refer to one of my tribal clients. I work with the Seminole Nation Housing Authority, and therefore I get to sit through a lot of Seminole Nation General Council meetings, and the Seminole Nation has taken great strides to deal with the problem of diabetes and diabetes-related illnesses there on their reservation. They do have a dialysis clinic there that tribal members can have access to, and I think that's a wonderful program, and I would work towards having something of that nature implemented here. I also want to tell you a little bit about myself personally. My grandmother died of diabetes, and there's a great incidence of diabetes on my children's father's side as well. His father died of diabetes, I think, when he was in his late 40s, and several of my children's aunts and uncles died prematurely from diabetes. I have 3 children, and my oldest son is 10 years old, and he weighs 150 pounds, and his waistline is actually larger than his father's. He has to wear men's clothing, and it becomes a challenge to try to accommodate that, and he is at risk. And diabetes is genetically related, there's no doubt about that, but it's also preventable. And the 2 ways that diabetes is prevented is through exercise and diet. And so I would like to see these programs implemented for our children at the earliest ages. We have a daycare program, a Head Start program here on our reservation. Those of you who know me know that I have lobbied to make that program more accessible to Osage tribal members and to other Indians. As you may or may not know, that program operates on a first-come, first-served basis without regard to Indian preference or Osage tribal preference, and therefore our daycares are filled up primarily with non-Indian children. You may or may not know that. I think in the Sky Tooth daycare where my children attend, there are 3 Osage families who have children there. One Osage family only has 1 child there. I have 2 children there because I can't afford, frankly, to put all 3 there. And there's one family that has 2 children there on a part-time basis. All the other children are non-Indian. The Seminole Nation has a diabetes awareness camp for young children that target that young age group where they're learning how to eat properly and manage their weight properly. And we have to start at those earliest ages because it is a preventable illness, and we should be putting forth every effort to do that. Thank you.
Joni Kalchi. Joni?
Can you hear me? Jozi with the Z. Okay. Could you repeat the question?
What kind of health initiatives would you support to address the health-related issues such as diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, obesity, etc.? Please be specific.
Well, as you can see, I am obese, so that's really paramount on my list of health concerns. For myself, a lot of people in our tribe. But I think outreach would be really important, and find out what the people want and what they need. And I think if we do that, then we can look at the financial aspects and look to make it happen. That's about it.
Hi, good evening. My name is Marie Pratt, and I know you heard it a few minutes ago, but I also support compacting health. I feel that we are generations of educated and resourceful people, so I do believe that we should probably be at that point by now. I know that we have several surrounding tribes who have their own health clinics, and I think that they're doing a good job with that. As far as diabetes, I come from a family of diabetes. I've had gestational diabetes myself. As an employee, though, I do feel that we have several programs in place regarding health initiatives right now. I would just like to ask the people to participate in those. We have diabetic walks and many activities, but the people aren't there. So while you're all here, I would like to ask that many people get involved if you need those services. Also, the health benefit card, that is now, to look at that again, I think that now it's up to $1,000 for elders. A program was mentioned earlier this evening, and that program is not just a check that is sent to your home if you ask for it. There are income guidelines in place and policy and procedure in place. But it does, if you do have a health-related issue, it does can provide up to $1,000 in addition. So therefore, if you're an elder and fall within the income guidelines, you could receive $2,000 towards your health care. So again, I just think that we have many programs in place right now. I think we have a lot of people doing a good job within the tribe. And so I would just ask that we reevaluate those and communicate with executive, that those are already in place, and we just move forward with what we have. Thank you.
I agree with Ms. Pratt, and I truly know that we have programs in place that are valid and working to help the people. However, we need to look at if there are reasons why people are not participating in the diabetes programs or in learning to control blood pressure, then it would be evaluating, taking a look at what may close that gap so that we can have more people involved in these programs. I also I have diabetes in my family also, and my grandmother also died of diabetes. So it's making that connection to how, as a child, how was my life changed. I thankfully do not have diabetes, but it's because of what I learned from my family that has helped with nutrition. And I'd like to see us put into place possibly more programs that will work with our children and give them the opportunity to practice good nutrition, to work on better exercise programs and ways to enhance their health and well-being. And also with our elders, having an elder mother, I know there are times when it's very difficult for her to participate in different programs, and sometimes the doors are not readily open for some of our elders, and often things seem, at least from her perspective, seem a bit difficult, so she gives up and decides she will not participate in a program. So again, it's looking at what is best going to work with for all of the Osage people to better our health so that we can continue to grow as a nation.
We're now into the rebuttal period. Each has 1 minute. And let's start with Shannon Edwards.
Thinking again about the diseases that were mentioned, I think each and every one of those is impacted by diet and exercise. So the initiatives that I'd like the Congress to undertake are ways to improve on the types of programs or the types of activities that we have available to try to prevent those kinds of diseases. That means putting more fresh vegetables in Title VI. That means putting more fruit in Title VI. That means having the appropriation for exercise, matching grants for communities to encourage exercise among youth. That may mean having a traditional Indian stickball tournament. Those are the kinds of things that we can do that are grassroots even. And I would encourage all those kinds of things to actually prevent the diseases as well as treat them. Thank you.
Amanda Proctor.
Well, to make this a true rebuttal, I guess I would say that I am not in support of compacting the healthcare services. We've seen some success stories come out of that with other tribes, the Cherokee Nation and the Creek Nation, for example. We've also had some horror stories. And for those of you that have used clinics in the Ponca City area, I'm not going to name names, but there was a tribe that had a pretty bad experience with compacting its clinic, which affected not only that tribe, but several of the tribes around it. And that happened about 12 years ago. So great strides have been taken even with that fact pattern and that particular set of tribes. But it's not something to be taken lightly, and it requires a great deal of research and infrastructure. And I would support the efforts to move that direction, but I think at this point it's something that I would be hesitant to recommend.
Jozi Palchi.
Last Sunday, I had got fresh produce to my Osage people here in Fairfax because we don't have grocery stores left, as you know, so it's really hard for elders to get to the nearest grocery store, which is like 20 miles away. So that's what I did. When I said outreach, I mean, a long time ago I learned with Osage people, you go to them, you talk to them directly. You can't just sit around in a gym or a health facility and wait for them to come in. Anything you do, whether it's dinner or whatever, you have to go to them and ask them to come. I don't think we're ready for compacting financially. We need to get control of what's going on before we start thinking about that. Thanks.
Angela Pratt.
Okay, I just want to say, in case anyone thought that I thought this could happen overnight, I don't. So, but I do support it. Because I support self-determination, self-governance. So I think that it is something to look at because we do know better than anyone the needs of our own people. And again, to meet the needs of our people, I think again to look at the strategic plan, kind of reevaluate that, and because that was done several years ago now, so we do need to take another look at that and see where we stand as far as healthcare among the people.
Again, I would like to see more programs. My mother lives in the senior circle area in Pawhuska, and there's really nothing available for the elders. There are very, very few programs. So I would really initiate and try to promote that we encourage more programs for elders that can be set up at the Title VI building, and also for our children. I know the Boys and Girls Club offers some programs for the children, but let's give them some viable, fun things to do that will increase their health and well-being.